See, what's happening in Egypt is in search of political freedom, which happened here 65 years ago when the English were ruling the country. At that time, youth came out on the streets for the freedom struggle, a very unique freedom struggle in India, a peaceful movement, you know. Nowhere else it has happened so peacefully. It was led by Mahatma Gandhi and it happened at that time. But that's no more the issue now. So the situation in Egypt and in India, it's very, very different. Well, both are ancient cultures, that's common, but other than that, it's very different because here we have maintained our ancientness. In a certain way, the culture has remained that way. In Egypt, it's gone through many religious and other kinds of changes where this has not happened here. So here people, it's very… you will see it's very difficult to make an Indian angry, you know. In Italy, it's very easy, I think.
Yeah, very easy.
In Egypt, they're fighting for liberation or they're looking for political and other kinds of freedom. In India, there's absolute political freedom that way. A situation like Egypt happened in India 65 years ago when the English was in power and people wanted freedom. Then they came out on streets and a very wonderful and peaceful movement led by Mahatma Gandhi happened in this country. It's an incredible moment for a country of this size, the way it was conducted. It was a tremendous moment at that time. But that is past and that generation is gone, actually. Indians don't think like that anymore. The idea of slavery is not there in their head anymore because that generation which fought for freedom and that's mostly past. The new generation, this is already the third generation from there, which is the youth today. So today the youth's aspiration is, there's enormous economic possibility. In India, education is generally widespread, except in certain rural communities where it's a problem. Otherwise, generally, there are very good education opportunities for people. And employment is no more an issue, people find good jobs and they can go anywhere in the world. So, the people who come here to the ashram are not in search of that kind of freedom. They are looking for an inner liberation because only when people are reasonably well-to-do, they realize that the bondage is not from outside. The real struggles are from within. When the outside is tough, we believe all the problems are outside. Once the outside becomes conducive, you realize you still have your problems. So it's only in at least a certain level of affluence that the inner seeking begins for a human being, because otherwise his time and his energies are fully engaged in survival process. Only when survival process is reasonably settled, the inner pursuit begins. That way, India is a unique culture that even people who are in minimal survival mode also search for the inner liberation because the culture is soaked in this. See, the beauty of this culture is just this. That means, if you're born in this culture, you're supposed to be a natural seeker. A seeker means, what it means is, you're seeking truth, the ultimate truth of nature. Well, the Vedas have already said it, the Gita has said it, Bible has said it, any number of scriptures have said it, any number of sages and saints have said it. Messiahs and sons of gods have been born in this country in, many dozens of them. But though all of them have said it, the individual has the right to seek. He need not accept anything that anybody has said. We respect all of them, we revere all of them for who they were. But for me, I have to seek. I will not go by what Rama said or Krishna said or Buddha said. I have to seek and know for myself. So here the culture is that of seeking. So every human being has to seek and find. That means there is no imposition of somebody else's truth upon me. So, because of such a rich cultural heritage that we have of seeking, that seeking truth has been considered as the highest goal in one's life. You know, when I went to Greece recently, I was at Greece and they said goddess Athena, who finds the main highest spot in Athens, she's the goddess of wisdom. So wisdom was the highest goal in that society. So similarly here, truth and knowing is always the highest goal, not the money, not the wealth, not the other kinds of powers. Truth and knowing always has been held as the highest. So naturally, people wanting to go in that direction is very, very natural in this culture. It's been largely disturbed by Western type of education and things, but still essentially somewhere within that seeking is always there. Because we have never been kind of psyched to believe something. Here always questioning, debate is… Indians can debate about everything, you know. So, just about everything, about the very existence of God, you can sit in a temple and debate about it. You can sit in a temple and debate about the existence of God, nobody will persecute you. There is no such thing as a heretic in this country. You can ask most fundamental questions and you can seek truth. So that is the uniqueness of this culture, that everybody can seek. Nobody will be persecuted for his seeking. That does not exist. So that is why the seeking is so strong.